Alright, so as you can see here are the two carriers already primed using Mr. Surfacer's 1200. It's not 100 completely primed, just enough to cover some of the scar marks and scratches that was produced when I was trying to clean up and detail, and make the kit as clean as possible. Obviously, you don't see that problem here, but this one was the one that gave me a little bit of trouble. And as you can see, there's a lot of gaps showing here. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. I'm not gonna go completely bananas. I'm pressed for time to getting these two kits done. By going to this, I was cleaning up all this and making sure if I miss something, I'll redo it again. I'm also using a little brush to clean up the leftover flakes that's on this before I begin painting this. So yeah, those two carriers are done. As you can see, this one came out really nice. I also did the priming was also another thing. Priming also shows me the panel lining of the kits, and that's something important that I'm going to show you. I have an idea. Now, besides these two, I also primed the smaller parts. And before we get to the smaller parts, I picked up this Mr. Paint Station from Hobby Japan about a couple of weeks ago. They're perfect for holding smaller parts. I've had trouble where whenever I have to paint, larger parts is easy to do on the foam block that I have. But when you do smaller parts, it makes it difficult to move around, and it's so big that sometimes the block, since the whole thing tips over, sometimes I may lose a part and anything like that. This one is small, convenient, and I can easily put it to the side either way. I got 4 of these for less than $5, so I would if anybody is interested, get one of these. They're really good to hold up your parts. Clearly I could probably use this for this, but the holes are smaller while these are huge. So here are the parts for the carrier, the cannons and the conning tower, the bridge. Then here are the parts for the new carrier. I painted these two, and I'm slowly considering using only one, and I'll explain the reason why. Despite the fact that this is a really cool gimmick to flip over and around, so you'll have the flight deck on one point and then transform it and show this cannon and the weaponry on the other. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. The reason why is because as I was spray painting, I was trying to figure out how to flip them over so I can respray paint the underside again. Then during the course of my painting, I would have to flip them over again and flip them twice, and that would screw up the way I'm going to paint it, so that way it won't be even. One will be a little darker than the other, or the sides will be a little bit too dark because of the oversaturation, or trying to even it out. So it won't be visible for me to do that. So I've decided to leave the way it is. It looks cool like that. The fighters, I can put them over here at the corners. There's no big deal. And I will be doing the same thing for the new carrier with its weaponry, as you can see here, which I'm going to do now. There's no reason for me to worry about being consistent, because also the ship, the big ship that the bomber type thing that had the drill bit, it'll go right here, so it's no big deal. No big deal at all. So there you have it. That's my idea on that. So I'm gonna begin preparing for painting soon, and I gotta do it quickly because the weather is getting very cold. I have to close up my windows because it's getting very cold in here. So I wanted to show you this on camera, and what you see here are all the kits, both kits, pre-shaded using my Real Touch marker. I was actually recording this, and for some unknown reason my my SD card on my camera decided to go on the fritz, and I almost lost the video, my previous video, but I wanted to show you, wanted to explain that I wanted to do a, I wanted to panel line or pre-shed all the line art on this, so that when I spray paint it, it'll show up, you know, it won't show up in the, you know, during the spray paint, but it will have that pre-shaded look to it. And then of course, once it's dries painted and I top coat it, I'll use my Velilla wash on this as well. But I wanted to show you what I did, where I used the marker and covered all the lining on this, as you can see right there for this one, and this one here. As a matter of fact, I think I missed a spot here, so there are some slight mistakes which I'm hoping it will be overlooked at during the painting process. And I just took my sweet time just applying the applying this on. As you can see, I made a mistake there, and I don't want to use thinner or anything like that, because I don't want to wipe out the primer. But that's pretty much what I did with these two kits. All right, so I want to get this thing done before you know, the ice storm hits. So let me begin painting these two guys. Okay, let's begin. Don't know where to start, but we'll just wing it. Consistency is always never the same unless you do it right. I learned that firsthand on many of my kits. I've been never satisfied with my work on using red paint. You're kidding. Come on. Trying to get it thinned up properly is a bit of a chore. Too much, and you'll lose all the paint in one shot. Too little, you get the spider webs. You gotta get it just right. And always make sure that your brush, there you go, your airbrush is nice and clean before processing. Again. nice and slow. Don't rush. Okay, so I finished painting a light pass. This is actually pass number 1 on this carrier. I'm going to do this as well. Keep it consistent. And then eventually I'm going to give it a second pass, a second coat.